It started on a Thursday. That detail stands out to me because Thursdays are usually forgettable, but not this one. I was waiting for the bus after school, standing under the skeletal shade of a leafless tree when I noticed it. The sun was behind me, low and orange, casting long shadows that stretched across the cracked pavement. Everyone had a shadow, but mine twitched. Not a wind twitch, not a shiver. It jerked, a sharp, deliberate motion. My body didn't move. My feet were planted, but my shadow took a step forward. I blinked, heart pounding. I glanced around. No one else seemed to notice. Olivia was scrolling on her phone. Marco was kicking a rock. The world was normal. I looked back down. My shadow stood still, exactly as it should. I laughed it off. Maybe I had moved. Maybe my brain was playing tricks. But that night, as I brushed my teeth, I saw it again. In the mirror behind me, my shadow raised its hand a second before I did. I froze, toothbrush halfway to my mouth. The mirror didn't lie. My shadow had already lifted its arm. Just before I even started moving, I dropped the toothbrush into the sink and turned quickly. Nothing. Just my room. Just me. But when I looked again, the shadow stood perfectly still, matching my posture. That night I barely slept. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the wind outside felt like something creeping closer. At one point, I swore I saw the shadow on my wall tilt its head, even though I was lying flat on my back. The next morning, I woke to sunlight streaming through the blinds and my shadow, already cast against the floor, standing. I hadn't even sat up yet. I scrambled out of bed, heart racing. The shadow didn't follow me right away. It lingered in the bed's outline for a moment too long, then suddenly snapped to where I was, like a glitch being corrected. I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? But over the next few days, the movements got bolder. In class, I caught my shadow shifting its posture when I was completely still. In the hallway mirrors, it sometimes looked directly at me, even if my real head was turned the other way. One afternoon, I deliberately stood motionless in the backyard, arms stiff at my sides, breathing shallowly. The sun cast my shape across the lawn. I didn't move a muscle. My shadow raised its hand and waved. I ran back inside and locked the door. That night, I taped over all the mirrors in my room and slept with the lights on. It didn't help. At 2:14 a.m., I woke up to scratching, coming from the wall, and a long, dark outline moving underneath my door. The scratching grew louder, more urgent. I stayed frozen under my blanket, heart pounding so hard I could hear it echo in my ears. The lights were still on, but the room felt darker somehow, as if the shadow itself was swallowing the glow. Then silence. No scratching. No movement. I inched toward the door, step by step, barely breathing. I dropped to the floor and peeked beneath the gap. Nothing there. No feet, no shape. I stood slowly, grabbed the baseball bat I kept by my desk and flung open the door. Empty hallway. But behind me, on the far wall of my bedroom, my shadow stood still, not matching me, not attached to my feet, just there, watching. I turned around, staring at it. For the first time, I realized something terrifying. The shadow wasn't mine anymore. It moved toward me, peeling off the wall like wet paper lifting in the wind. I stepped back, but it kept coming. No matter how I moved, it didn't mimic. It advanced. Cornered, I gripped the bat tightly, but what could I do? It was darkness. It had no form to strike. Then it stopped, inches from my feet, and spoke. Not with words, but with a feeling. An icy thought pressed directly into my skull. You've been walking too long in the light. It's my turn now. Everything went black. When I woke up, the sun was high. I stood up slowly, feeling different. Outside, the world looked the same. Birds chirped. A lawnmower buzzed somewhere in the distance. But my reflection in the mirror, it didn't move at all.